this is a really great transition for the next topic that we have today, which I think is going to astronomically change the landscape of the workforce, right? When we talk about being able to earning potential, being able to earn more money, being able to diversify our income, or even really apply the skills that we've learned, are happy to announce that the FTC has banned essentially banned non-compete agreements. This takes effect 120 days after the ruling, assuming that there are no lawsuits that put this proposed ban in place, right? That slow it up. But essentially, the FTC has banned non-compete agreements. So if you have a non-compete agreement, it's very likely that your existing employer will no longer be able to enforce that agreement. Now, this is a really big deal. First things first, if you ever had to go to court for a non-compete, they very much have a hard time holding up in court anyway. So I don't think that folks are, anyone who wants to push back or file a lawsuit against this ban, if that's how it works, I hope I'm saying that right, it's even going to go anywhere, because we all know that non-competes don't hold up well in court as it is. But non-competes have hindered a lot of people from taking what they have learned from years of experience in any given position and working for a competitor. Mm-hmm. Why would somebody ever want to work for themselves? Yes, there's a stat. I'm gonna come with the stats again. I believe it is the FTC projected that banning non-competes could increase worker pay by a collective $300 billion each year and lead to the creation of more than 8,500 new businesses each year. Mm-hmm. Now, that is absolutely insane. Now, I have had to sign a non-compete before. I had one, and I honored that non-compete when I ended up making a move. And it sucks, because it's like, wow, I have just not only have I spent my time, right, making you a bunch of money, but now I can't take the skills that I've learned and apply them somewhere else, or make a lateral or even vertical movement to increase my position, my title, my salary, because Lord knows that when you stay at a company and they're not giving you merit increases, or you're not being evaluated properly, or you're not getting the raises that you deserve, or I see new employees coming in starting off at a higher salary than I've been able to earn over the last 10 years. The only reason I'm even staying here is because I can't take what I do here and go do it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So this is a really, really huge progress. Now, I will say I am a huge fan of the ban of the non-compete. I do thoroughly believe in NDAs, and there are going to be ways that companies try to circumvent this or sneak in, confidentiality in other areas. But this is a huge, huge win for workers. Huge win.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't think that non-competes affect them, but most people just don't read their employment contracts. Yeah. And I do. Like, even in nursing, it's a thing. I recently had to negotiate away a non-compete because I have my own educational platform, and I was being brought on by an educational institution to teach. And I was like, I have my own content. I don't want it to seem like I can't teach my stuff because I am associated with this institution. So this needs to be removed. Even without that, like, even if I didn't have my own platform and I'm an educator and I found a super effective way to educate my students and I wanted to bring that to my own personal platform, these non-competes can hinder that. Nursing techniques, like all these kind of things. There has been intellectual property that has been taken for nurses. Like, nurses engineer a lot of things out of necessity, and their non-competes in hospitals say that, oh, you've been doing this thing at this hospital this certain way. Now, when you go over to this other hospital, you can't do that, or you can't branch out and start being a nurse inventor and do these things. So a lot of people, I don't think, are affected by non-competes. A lot of people are affected by non-competes, but I don't think they understand the depth of how it was affecting them. And hopefully this will shed some light on some opportunities that people have to be able to take that intellectual property that they have acquired through certain industries or on their own and be able to, again, branch out, make more money somewhere else, or take that and make more money for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have anything, Patty?
No, I was just going to ask, why do you think that they're banning it now? What led to this?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I wonder if it has anything to do with like you're saying, it doesn't hold up in a courtroom, and maybe there's too many lawsuits that are created over this, and maybe it's a big fat waste of time and resources to be able to go and argue over a non-compete that that doesn't hold up in court. I've heard that a lot myself, because in my industry, when you're recruiting people, you do get certain incentives, and there's an agreement, and there's a non-compete clause, and there's NDAs, there's all these things. And many times they get hashed out in court, and you don't have to live up to the agreement if they are claiming that you broke it. And it's usually the employer, the big guy, coming after the little guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the little guy going after the big guy. So I can see why there'd be some incentive to get rid of this. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, chamber president said that called the new rule a blatant power grab that will undermine American businesses, their ability to remain competitive. So I think, yeah, there could be some big business like pushback on this for sure. But there's also another stat that 18% of workers have non-compete agreements in place, and it heavily hinders their wage growth, exponentially hinders their wage growth. So, yeah,
I think it's akin to us seeing a lot more around like pay transparency and things like that. Like the power in is kind of shifting a little bit more towards employers and fair labor practices. So I think maybe this goes hand in hand. It makes sense, but I honestly don't know why this is a thing right now. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, so Vina Jetty is commenting on Instagram, and I'm trying to flip back and forth. Hey, Vina, definitely a friend of the show and friend of ours. She mentioned that you just can't take customers or relationships if you can't take customers or relationships, even if they really are yours, is what I think she's saying. She also mentioned, I think that they did it to solve the shortage of healthcare accessibility. I think it's like 70% plus of doctors have non-competes, and that's causing a huge shortage of healthcare or in healthcare. All
See?
kinds of
There we go.
problems there.
So
There
that
we
makes
go. Thanks for that, Vina.
Yeah, thanks for that. Definitely. A lot to unpack there. Just know we are not legal professionals. So if you have a non-compete in place, somebody else in the comments is saying, so you mean my non-compete? I don't know. I don't know nothing. I was reading. I don't know nothing. Consult your employment attorney before you make any decisions, right? But
Always and forever.
yeah, but with non-competes, those are one of those, I'm kind of willing to toe the line a little bit. Obviously I'm always operating with integrity, and it's not, coming from that place. It's really hindering the ability and for the greater good for people to earn more and for more businesses to flourish. If I work at Instagram or who did you just mention that worked at Pinterest and then started Gumroad?
Sahil.
Okay, imagine if he wasn't able to make that transition, if he was under a non-compete, taking what he learned in the tech industry to start a tech platform, right? Essentially. So, yeah, we need more businesses. We need more women businesses. We need people being able to innovate. And that's what makes, I think, America really so great with, innovation and the ability to see that creativity through to a real company. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out more about how that will impact various industries for sure.